Hello, and thank you for joining us for the Metal Scourge Episode 3. I'm Corinne, and I'll be your DM. We're using the Legendlore setting a little differently than some of the other streams on the channel. While the system is made for you to play yourself in a fantasy setting, it can also be used as a side quest for current game characters, or a quick one-shot for when friends get together with characters from other games. This is because the realm pulls people from different planes, universes, and settings to all be in one place. So you could have Scarred Lands characters and Pugmire characters meeting up in a strange new land, like you'll see today. If you like what you see, and then I hope you'll check out the Legendlore Kickstarter. Link in chat. With 9 days to go, they have raised over 16K. This means they've beaten their 15K goal and are currently working towards the first stretch goal, which is the production of a Legendlore DM screen to help you run this fantastic setting just that little bit better. So pitch in and help make this release even cooler. Finally, right now, viewers can unlock Pride Theme emotes, and Twitch will donate 10 cents to both the Trevor Project and the National Black Justice Coalition through $7.15 for every paid sub, gift sub, or cheer of 300 bits or more. That's going to be going up until there's a total contribution of 300K to each organization. And contributing allows you to permanently earn Pride emotes and gift them to the community as well. Without further ado, I will pass the floor to my players, say a little bit about yourselves and your characters, and then we'll get this show going. This week we will start with Bevan.
Hi, I'm Bevan. I'm normally over on Roll the Roll with Corinne. I'm playing Rex Fluffmane, the dog person Saint Bernard Paladin, who's a very good boy. And I'm sitting here petting my dog Longtime, who's a very good girl, next to me in the bed until she barks, and then she'll be a very bad. That is the duality of dog.
Very true, very true. All right, Hiromi.
Hi, I'm Hiromi. I'm playing Zasa, who is an Asathi wizard. She is a snake girl, as you might tell from my skin. I'm a freelance RPG writer. I write for a lot of the lines that Onyx Path does, but not Legendlore, which means I don't know what's happening, and it's great.
It's full of surprises for you. All right, Rachel, you're up next.
Hey, my name is Rachel. I'm also a freelance tabletop RPG writer / editor. I do things with words and games. And I am playing Shell. She's a Realmborn. She was born in this world. She is an orc. And, she's grown up hearing stories about how when heroes come from other worlds into this one, and they do great things. And she's super excited that she now gets to be on one of these adventures.
Very cool.
She did not expect the dog people, though.
I don't think anybody expected the dog people.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, you probably aren't regretting the dog people.
No, I don't think anyone's regretting the dog people.
You are very good boys.
And girls.
And girls, yes.
All right, Jeremy.
I'm Jared Hochhalter. I do streaming and RPG game design. I am playing Winnie, the Staffordshire cleric or shepherd from Pugmire, and she is having an existential crisis right at the moment, so we'll see how this all works out tonight.
Oh, let's hope she's able to figure it out. All right, Rune, last but not least.
Hi, I'm Rune. I am a freelance artist for Cubicle 7. I do lots of streaming things in other places, and I am playing Marigold, the most extra pastel goth bard to ever walk the Nine Realms.
That he is. All right, so does anyone want to give a summary of last week? Do you remember what we did last week? A fair amount of things happened. You got a new friend.
Girl, I don't remember what I did last hour.
I think I showed up, we talked about shit, and we started chasing the lift beast, and I think that's it.
We flexed at some bandits until they decided to open a gym.
Yep.
Yeah, we converted bandits into...
It's Ass League all over again. But yeah, so basically what happened is all of you who were here for the first session, you woke up in this strange new place. You started having breakfast. As you were doing so, Marigold showed up. You realize that he had showed up the night before, but he had been in the tavern instead of showing up in the plains like you all did. He was able to get a room, basically playing for the tavern to pay off his room. And then when he showed up the next morning, he met up with all of you. Marigold and Zasa had a lovely reunion. And then you all were told that the Metal Scourge, the life beast, was out in the hills. And it was moving towards the river. And that you better go before you missed it, because it's very fast. As you were traveling, you were accosted by some highwaymen, bandits, some sort of ne'er-do-wells who were basically taking money from travelers to use the road because it was one of the few safe ways that the life beast wasn't using for whatever reason. And instead of fighting them or instead of paying the toll, you intimidated them and made them feel bad. And encourage them to, instead of, making people pay to cross this road, perhaps they could make people pay them to, like, judge their fitness, running, squats, things like that. And you basically encourage them to start a gym. Those bandits, or former bandits, will be meeting Shell back in Welcome Village at a later date to discuss with the town leadership about opening a gym. That's about where we left off, but there was something interesting that happened. After you got past the highwaymen, you saw that you kind of crested a bit of a hill, and you found that the life beast was there. It was by the river, seemingly unable to ford, kind of going back and forth, trying to find a way across. And someone saw you. Someone looked out over the river and pointed at you. It was an elven woman. And that's where we pick up. Let me move to the map. All right. And there we go. All right. So I believe last week, Marigold was going to put up a minor illusion of a brick wall to stop the life beast from doing the pacing it was doing, driving in the forest. That's what this note was for, I believe. That's why it's in pink.
Okay.
Yeah, that tracks.
It's next to your token, and it's pink, so I believe it was you.
I believe that is me, yeah. So I guess Marigold, to keep it from pacing, will poke his head out from the ridge and pop! Brick wall in front of the thing.
All right.
It makes that noise, by the way. That is the noise of minor illusion.
It just...
All right, so I will draw a line for you.
Wait.
Would you put it like directly in front of it, or would you put it like a couple
like
areas ahead?
There.
It sounds like
There?
it
Okay.
goes
Yes.
when it shows up.
All right, so as you
Boing.
pop this brick wall there, you see the life beast kind of squeal to a stop. It makes kind of a strange sound that you're not incredibly familiar with. You think it has something to do with its wheels as they stop against the kind of paved area by the river here. And I would like you all to roll a perception check for me.
Sure. 8!
You're all doing great.
Zach, where are you?
One of these days.
Is this a
Alright.
vision or a...
This is for vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
11.
5.
Okay. So
You go,
We are
Hiromi.
really bad at this.
you don't see much. You do know that there is somebody staring at you across the river. That was pretty obvious from last time. Somebody saw that. But what you see specifically about the light beast is that you can see inside of it. The strange panels are not fully solid. They're kind of transparent. You don't see anything inside. It doesn't seem to have innards or organs or anything like that. But it's backing up, and like, then it stops, like it's thinking or something.
What a strange, disturbing creature.
Zasa, can you put up another one behind it? Perhaps. No minor illusion.
No, but I'd love to learn it sometime.
I'll try to teach you when we get home, but how many instances can I have of this up? One. Never mind.
Never mind.
That's an old reference. All right.
Zasa's gonna try a message on the life beast.
Okay. What do you say?
Hi, we're not here to harm you, but we'd really like to ask you some questions, like, what are you doing, and is it your intention to fill your inner space with the chunks of elves? Because they don't seem very happy about that.
What a way to put it. So, Zasa, last time you did remember a voice answering back. The voice had been a kind of panicked seeming, but then it had cut out with a lot of different voices, kind of a fuzzy sound, like a staticky. And this time, when you try talking, at first you don't hear a response. And then the car, the life beast, turns, kind of moving a little bit backwards to do so. And the eyes flash. And then you hear a voice in your head.
This is Q101.
Are you the rider?
Probably not. I don't even have a mount here. I mean, Miss Lizard's at home, and she's a great lizard. She's a great riding lizard, but she's not here. So I think that means that by default, I'm not the rider, but perhaps a rider.
And you hear a little bit of silence again, a little bit of static, and then the voice comes through again. I can't find a rider.
Well, I just said that I'm a writer, so maybe I can help.
And as you're having this conversation, telepathically with the life beast, the elves from across the river start crossing. They're pretty lithe as they do so, able to kind of jump from rock to rock. And they come over.
I'm just picturing like Wuxia just skipping across the water.
Yes, very much like that. And
crazy wire work.
They come across, and they stay behind the wall that the illusion wall, the illusory wall, and the leader, the woman who you think is probably their leader, given that she was the first to cross and she was the one who pointed at all of you. She looks up towards you. Are you speaking with it now?
I'm trying to. It's not very communicative, but it's looking for the writer. Are one of you the writer? Or are you a group that is called the writer?
I don't believe so, no. We are not the rider. Oh, go ahead.
Scribble rider or horse rider?
With a D.
Okay.
With D, not a T.
Paperback rider. No, wait.
And as you, she kind of pauses and takes a step closer to the wall, kind of peeking around it, but not, necessarily getting in the way of the thing, or she doesn't have a weapon drawn. And then she looks back up at you. I think speaking to it is the right course of action. Something isn't right here.
So as they were heading this direction, would it be possible, because Winnie's not really sure what's going on with them, whether they are humans or not, and whether they are divine or some kind of trickster beast. But that being said, she doesn't want to be a bad girl, just in case, and so they're obviously putting themselves in danger if that wall falls down. So can she start heading down like this ramp?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, awesome.
She's able to walk down there just fine. There really isn't any obstacle. It's a pretty easy walk down that way.
How far down is this cliff thing?
I would say it's not super high, but you'd probably be looking at about maybe like 15 feet. Like it's a
Cool, I
pretty good
throw
ridge.
myself off of it.
Okay. It's a pretty good ridge, but it's not going to kill you.
Acrobatics.
Marigold is really into that physical comedy.
So, Marigold, you do twist your ankle a little bit, but you think you'll be okay.
You
Alright,
know,
you
normally
can-
I
You
stick
can
the
run
leg
on a
in it.
broken ankle. It's okay.
I'm far too extra for that. I would whine and bitch the whole way.
You can definitely whine and bitch about this.
Alright, do I need to... I'm gonna roll a concentration. Do I take damage at all, or am I good?
Roll a con save for me. I just want to see. Yeah, you take 2 points of damage. Not a whole lot, but you definitely tweaked something.
Well, you see, now he's got to roll a concentration check. For
That's...
this wall.
Yep.
Yep, roll that concentration
11.
check.
We're good.
Okay, you're good.
Marigold, no, you have so much to live for.
No, I'm out. Fuck out. Okay, no, I'm fine. Nobody worry about me or anything. Yes, I voluntarily threw myself off a wall, but that's not the point.
I always worry about you, Marigold.
Uh-huh. Marigold looks genuinely touched. He turns around and just smiles at you, and it's actually a very honest smile. He seems thrilled.
I hope nothing bad happens to the beautiful man.
Why did she jump off the cliff? There's a
Hey!
perfectly good ramp right here.
I know my hair's long, but I'm not a woman!
Sorry,
Dogs.
no.
Hard for
So-
dogs to tell, okay?
I haven't sniffed you, so I tried to. It didn't work out very well.
There's a lot of perfume.
Right.
So Shell, little comment. I think I can get a shot on it from here.
Don't think it's hostile.
I mean,
Ah,
it's been scaring people.
right, but just because something scares something doesn't mean it's trying to hurt anyone.
When it hears the word, or the phrase, take a shot at it, you hear kind of a rumbling again, kind of like a vroom, vroom, as if you could try, but even stationary, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't think we want to actually fight it. We need to figure out why it's here and what it wants. Saucy, you were saying something about a rider?
Yeah, it seems like it's searching for the writer, or at least a writer. And I've let it know that I'm a writer. Those of you who don't know, I have a writing lizard back home. She's Miss Lizard because she hasn't told me her full name, so I'm keeping things professional. And Marigold's also a writer. He has a
more extra
fantastic zebra.
Metalloon, he's quite talented.
I mean, I've got experience with horses.
But a zebra, man, come on.
Yes, as a zebra, yes.
Life Beast, we have several writers here.
Shell's gonna squint and say, but I don't see a saddle anywhere.
Well, maybe it's
Tell us.
So
maybe it's one of those bareback things, or maybe
That's
maybe
really
it just has a
broad.
friend.
It's got a really broad back. I don't know how you'd bareback that.
Maybe the writer is a very large person.
Could be a giant.
Oh, that would make sense.
Zasa, since you
Still so
did
short.
speak to it again, you hear it in your head once more, and it's taken on a note of confusion, even more so than before. I can carry many riders, but I don't know where I am. My maps are all wrong.
Oh, you're in a place called the Realm. I have a star chart. That probably doesn't help unless you travel by using the stars to pinpoint your location or travel among the stars. But Shell might be able to help you out. Shell, what's this river that we're on?
I assume I know the name of the river.
You would know that this river is known by a pretty simple name. It is called the oh, hold on 1 minute. Just the Great River.
Yeah, I'll relay that. Yeah, it's called the Great River. It's not that poetic, but it works.
Utilitarian names are good ones as well.
Yeah.
So it's also what's it saying?
It says that it doesn't know where it is.
Oh, well, that's
So
one thing we've got in common.
Right? I think that we could use that as a source of common ground.
I'm gonna try and talk to it. We'll see what happens. Let me use my busted ass telepathy that Corinne forgot to nerf before it got into game.
Well, you don't realize how busted something is until you put it into play.
I'm so sorry. Maybe we can limit it to like specific like forest type creatures or something. Who knows?
I might
This
give
is
it like
a forest creature.
I might give it a amount of times per day or something like that. Like
Maybe that could
limit,
work.
like that might work.
Variety to charisma or something. Anyway.
Yeah.
I will use my busted ass telepathy to attempt to speak to the life beast.
Okay. As you, what do you say first?
Hello, you're lost as well.
It takes a minute. It's different than what you've experienced before with speaking to individuals in their minds. Like as you communicate, you feel a bit of an emptiness or kind of an artificialness, but there is a response. There's a little bit of static, and then yes, I don't know where this place is. You say your friend says the Realm. I don't know what that is or where it is, or I've never seen scenery like this before.
Well, where are you from? Where are you trying to get to?
I was trying to get to New York.
I was hoping you were to say I was trying to get to Lakeshore Drive from the Mag Mile. But...
Okay, and New York. So an old York, I wonder.
That would follow logically.
Marigold will be translating up to Zasa as well.
Yeah.
Now, so the state. Do you have a name? We've been calling you Life Beast, but that doesn't seem polite.
Oh, I don't think so. I haven't had a name before, but maybe now I should.
Big quick question: is your body this metal thing, or are you inside of it, or something? Is this like some sort of rudimentary tank?
Oh, no. There's I'm this, and you see that one of the panels on the side pops open, and you're able to see clearly through that there's nothing inside other than you see what looks like some seats. There's kind of a strange steering wheel of some sort. You think that if this was a cart, it'd be how you would drive it. Yeah, you don't see much inside.
Oh, so you're like a sentient carriage.
And there's a bit of silence again. More static. And then, yes, I think so. I'm a car, but that sounds like carriage.
I relayed this to the party. So it's lost. It says it's a car, and was trying to get to New York. See, it's not trying to hurt anyone. It's just lost as we are. Well,
Jill, do you know where either Old or New York are?
No, I don't think they're anywhere around here. We could check in Welcome Village. Someone might know.
That makes sense. Elven friends who have suddenly appeared. Do you know where Old or New York are?
The woman who was speaking before, she's like, I'm not familiar with Old or New York. And then she pauses. Wait, no, I've heard of New York. New York is from beyond the realm.
Oh, well, then it's as lost as we are.
Yes, I do believe so. But now, I'm not certain how much you know, but generally things and individuals are brought here for a reason, to accomplish something, unless they just come through accidentally, which does happen. It might not be possible for this carriage to return back until it does whatever it was brought here for.
Oh, interesting.
Assuming it wants to go back.
I don't know. I can ask it. It's really rather giving me a headache. It's something very strange about its mind, but it's also maybe you should talk to it. It doesn't have a name, but we do know it's not harmful now. At least it's just confused.
Now, I'm glad I didn't shoot it.
I'm glad you didn't shoot it either. I think it could probably. I mean, look at it. It looks rather heavy.
Oh, I've been aiming for the eyes.
I'm gonna lean over and look at the eyes.
It's got 2 in the front and 2 in the back. The ones in the back are red.
Roll an investigation check for me if you want to check them out more closely, Marigold.
Sure. I'm really good at these.
I know you are.
6!
These are some of the strangest eyes you've ever seen. They do seem to have some sort of inner light, but beyond that, you can't really gather much about them.
I'll walk closer.
Okay.
Doot, 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 doot.
Alright, roll that investigation check with advantage now.
That's intimidation. I do not intimidate the car.
That's probably a bad idea to intimidate the car.
20.
20, okay. So now that you're closer, you're taking a really close look, and you realize that the eyes aren't made of any sort of natural material. It looks like they're made of a glass or something like a glass. And now that you're closer, you also see that the panels on the front and on the sides also seem to have glass in them. Yeah.
So Marigold will, as Marigold leans down, he'll like reach a hand forward, like How to Train Your Dragon style, and see if the car moves forward.
I'd like you to
Animal handling.
Yeah. roll an animal handling.
Add vehicle proficiency.
Oh my god, 5! What are my rolls tonight?
So you see the life beast kind of pull forward a little bit, like move just a touch, and then scoot back again, seemingly unsure. And then you see the panel that had popped open. The other one pops open, and now it has both out, kind of like little wings or little arms. And you feel a tickling in your mind. Perhaps it's trying to talk to you right now.
I'll reach out to it again via telepathy.
You get that staticky feeling again.
Ugh.
And then it is definitely giving you a bit of a headache. You're feeling the pressure behind your eyes. But it says, she said that if I did what I was brought here for, I might be able to go home.
Yes, that's correct.
I don't know if I should go home.
Why?
I wasn't like this before. I didn't... And there's a pause with lots of static. I wasn't me. I was, and you hear kind of a fuzzy, like, break up. You hear lots of voices. And then code. I was programming. And now I am me.
Oh, this is some really wacky magic bullshit. Zasa! Translate what the life pieces said to me to those behind me. Somebody smarter than me, please decipher this, because I have no idea what it's talking about.
Programming? You mean like you were mentally tortured and forced into a cult of some sort? This isn't the first time that I've encountered someone who needed to be deprogrammed after an encounter with a cult. I'm not the best at empathy, but I can help.
The panel kind of wiggle a little bit, like and then the entire body moves a little bit, like it looks like the wheels are turning, and you hear, no, I don't think I was in a cult. I was.
Are you sure? I've heard of a cult called Tesla.
I mean, I commented in the chat that Elon Musk is getting real twitchy and he doesn't.
Tesla sounds familiar. Maybe. I think I was a conveyance for riders, but I wasn't me. I was a carriage, like you said. But now I am more.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Okay.
Thank you.
So what's it saying?
It's saying that it was not a member of a cult. It just it appears to be some sort of awakened creature, similar to our flying plant friend.
You know what? I think we should call it Scenarius.
Do you like the name Scenarius?
Yes, it has a nice ring to it.
Means grey in Sylvan. It's not exactly creative, but a name's a name.
A name is better than no name.
Can you talk other than in telepathy? Because this is giving me the worst headache.
It pauses for a minute, and then you hear the static get really loud in your head for a moment. And
Okay.
Goes,
Sorry, we had fireworks and it scared the cat out.
And then goes silent. And as it goes silent, you hear that same voice that was in your head start coming out of the inside of the vehicle. Is this better?
Oh, thank you so much. Miracle just sits down on the ground and massages his temples very overdramatically.
As this conversation's happening, the elven woman, she calls up to you, Shell. Are you from Welcome Village?
I am. Hello, my name is Shell. Do you need an escort?
No. We were patrolling outside the forest when we saw our friend here, and we figured it best to intervene, but perhaps you've got it handled.
I think we've got it under control.
Oh, and I'm Serene, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Serene. My name is Shell.
A pleasure.
And I will give them directions to Welcome Village in case they want to swing by.
Okay. Oh, thank you. We haven't been by in, quite a few years. And, if you'd like to roll a history or a general knowledge, you can see if you know anything about Serene.
With my negative intelligence.
Yes.
Yay.
So, her name rings a bell, but you don't have too much information. You vaguely remember that she is a well-known and renowned elven ranger.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that she maybe helps others navigate places. She might be a useful person to have a good relationship with Welcome Village. A good way to get more people towards Welcome Village.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, what's the name of the woman that I've been interacting with the whole time in Welcome Village?
So that would be the leader of Welcome Village, and
Yes.
her name is Lars.
Lars. All right. So I will give them directions and like, yeah. And so when you get there, tell Lars that I sent you.
I will, of course. Yes, definitely. I think it would be good to visit. It's been quite a while. And then she thinks for a minute. She's like, "Oh, it is Lars, the new leader."
Yes. I'm sure she'd be delighted to meet you and your whole group.
I remember the election. It was quite contentious.
Oh, I'm glad that my candidate won.
And she nods, and you see her kind of go back to talk to the rest of her group. And as she passes by, she stops beside our doggy friends. Well, you're quite interesting.
Yes. I can tell upon closer inspection that these are not humans. They're
Yes.
just more elves, like
Up close, you see the pointy ears.
like Marigold, yeah.
And the rather fine features.
They're false humans.
Hey!
From a dog point of view, who's never met any of you until yesterday.
And when he's just like staring at the life beast, every so often like her tail starts wagging, and like you can tell that she's just thinking about something, and she turns to Rex and she's like, "Rex, I've seen something like this before in the archives in the church. There's documents from the Age of Man, Motor Trend, something like that. And I think these used to serve mankind like we did."
Motor Trend, Ford, Dodge. Those are all just vowels that come to mind. Actions, verbs, I guess. Fording and dodging.
And
maybe each of these had a purpose. Some would go across the river. Can this one go across the river? No, it can't. So. That's why it was going back and forth.
You see the elven woman smile, and she seems pretty enamored with you two. Just the fact that you're very different from anything she's seen before. She's like, I think that this individual, the life beast, as it was being called, I think it might be from Earth. As you've said, I think it was a means of transportation, but it seems to be something more now.
Well, it doesn't want to go back.
Well, then it doesn't have to.
Sorry, what are your pronouns? What do you prefer?
Oh, I prefer she, her.
Oh, she doesn't want to go back. Sorry about that. I'm asking Cenarius.
Oh, I thought you were asking her.
No.
Correction then. The Cenarius pauses. I haven't thought of it. Well, and you kind of hear the voice go silent for a minute, and then you hear kind of some strange like ticking sounds inside the car. You don't quite know what those sounds are, but it kind of seems like it's coming from like around here.
Mysterious ticking noise.
Mysterious ticking noise. And then suddenly it's like, yes, I am a woman.
She doesn't want to go back.
Then she doesn't have to. I think she could find quite the purpose here.
I'm happy to escort her to Welcome Village.
Might be wise. And then Serene pauses. Kind of thinks for a minute. Actually, she doesn't have to by any means, but I might have a place where she can find riders.
Oh?
If that is still what she seeks. And the
Does that sound good, Cenarius? Do you want some quality elven riders?
Cenarius kind of moves forward a little bit, kind of like deftly turning around you, Marigold. Kind of like leaning forward as if to say, like, I'm listening. And Serene continues. Now, it might be dangerous, but there is a very specific group of people who are looking for someone or something that could help them move people quickly from one location to another.
Let's go for a ride.
That sounds wonderful. Where can we find these people?
Well, it's a little bit complicated. You'll have to know the right people to talk to. But you're going to want to go to a dorm. And Shell, you can roll another, kind of like a general knowledge check.
So that would be intelligence?
Yeah.
Yay!
I want to see if you're familiar, well, how much you know about a dorm.
While this is all going on, Winnie's gonna go over and like inspect the card
I
more
got lucky.
closely.
Okay.
And just kind of like start patting it and rubbing it, like to let it know it's a good card.
As you start, like, you know, kind of like caressing the car, basically, you hear the kind of like the vroom sound again, but it doesn't seem like it's dislikes it.
The car's purring.
Right.
Yes. If you're familiar with felines, it does kind of sound like a purr. And the car kind of, Cenarius leans into you a little bit, like turning its wheels, her wheels, to get a little bit closer. She clearly likes it.
Rex, I can't figure out where to put the treats.
Oh no, who's that?
Another friend. And Shell, so what you know about Adorn? Because you got a pretty good roll there.
Yeah, I got lucky.
Let me get to my Adorn notes. Okay, so you know that Adorn is a mining city, and it's one of the most diverse places in Drom, which is the country that Welcome Village is in. Welcome Village is on the outskirts of Drom. A bit of the Welcome Village is kind of a very loose part of Drom, because the leader of Drom is not a nice dude, and he does not want. He's wasn't behind the war that caused the orcs to lose their homeland, but he's basically keeping up the status quo, despite the fact that various groups have petitioned him to allow the orcs back into the hills. And but Adorn is known for experiencing very little of the influence of the leader of Drom, who is specifically known as the Dark Lord. He's not a nice dude. And mainly they're left alone because they are a mining city that's incredibly prosperous. It's known to be a beautiful city full of different groups of people. But Adorn is also said to be home to a resistance against Darkoth.
Oh, that's cool.
And perhaps this might be what Serena's talking about.
Okay. All right. I think I would like to gather my new friends into a huddle,
Mhm.
Including car friend.
Scenarius.
In the
All right.
car in a huddle.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I guess you're gonna have to come down here.
Yeah, I think coming down to Scenarius is probably easier than Scenarius going all the way up there with that tree.
There's also
in the way.
don't jump down. There's also just take the path around, please.
Or
Oh, come on
levitate.
up.
Or you can levitate, but that's a second level spell.
Yeah, spell slots, man.
Yeah.
You need it for all this combat.
Look,
I mean,
you never know.
Yeah, you don't know what I'm gonna
just
throw at you.
gonna climb down.
Yeah, you can climb down. Just do an athletics check for me. It's only like 15 feet, so it's not very far. Oh yeah, you're fine.
Hey.
You climb down just fine.
Yeah, and so then I'll sort of explain this dynamic to the group, and suggest that maybe your purpose is not to. I should apologize. I say to the Lift Beast, we were afraid of you, and we really shouldn't have been.
And you hear kind of like you hear the static sound, but it's coming from inside the car, inside Scenarius right now. And it roll a perception check for me, everyone.
And this is sound based, so we do.
It is sound based, yes.
So is it just talking like Bumblebee?
Let's Bumblebee.
I got a 19,
So
and Rachel got a 21.
okay.
Zasa tries scratching behind its mirrors.
Marigold doesn't hear shit, apparently.
Nope, Marigold doesn't hear it.
Elf Tenny need recalibrating.
As you start kind of like rubbing behind the mirrors, like
fuck.
kind of giving it a scratch, Scenarius, she leans into you, just like she did with Winnie. She seems to enjoy being touched. It's probably something that's pretty new for her. So for Shell, Winnie, and Rex, you can tell that the static sound and that Scenarius' voice is coming from what look to be like these kind of like this area that's like flat that has some holes in it, and you see that there's a couple of locations around the inside, and that's where the voice and all the sounds are originating from. It seems like that is her voice, or at least that's how it's coming through when it's not in your head.
So I'm gonna take a piece of bacon and see if I can put it in that, because I mean I eat with the place that my voice comes out of.
As you start to bring the bacon inside it and kind of like put it against one of the strange little mouthpieces, you hear what kind of sounds like a laugh, and she's like, "Oh, no, thank you. I don't prefer food inside of my carriage. It must stay neat."
Oh, well then I'll just. No.
It sounds
There we go.
delicious.
Right,
And-
so what are we doing?
But then she turns to Shell a little bit, and just enough, not enough to bump anybody, and she's like, "I appreciate the apology. I think I should apologize too. I scared a lot of people."
I think everybody will be happy to know that you are actually quite peaceful.
I am. I was without a map. I was without a rider. The information just stopped.
Well, I think we should get everybody to Welcome Village and then figure out where to go next.
All right. I would like to see Welcome Village. And you notice that the day is really starting to wind down. It seems like unless you want to travel at night, you wouldn't be able to make it back to Welcome Village before having to travel in the dark. which might not be a problem for your friend here, but you have been out all day. Do you think you'd want to travel through the night, or do you think you'd want to rest?
I think I will comment that the sunset is coming quickly, and so we either have to walk in the dark or camp here. And I don't think Marigold wants to camp.
No, I'm
Just an
fine with
assumption.
camping.
sorry?
What makes you think that? I'm fine with camping.
Oh, you just seem to enjoy being comfortable.
Darling, do you think corsets are comfortable?
I've never worn one.
Exactly. No, I'm fine with camping. In fact, I prefer sleeping in trees if I can help it. I am an elf after all. Just because I look fancy doesn't mean I actually am fancy. No, I am fancy, but not that fancy. You know what? I'm just having the worst time with words today, and...
Marigold is fancy, but he's not pants. He's not a fancy pants.
And
But
as
I
you're
have
all
pants.
having this discussion, Serene comes back over. And she's like, we are going to head back into the woods for the night. Stay safe. And perhaps we'll see you in Welcome Village soon.
I
And
look
then
forward to it.
she kind of comes around and puts a hand on the on Cenarius's hood. It was lovely to meet you. I do hope to hear a word of your exploits in the future. And Cenarius, I think you'll hear a lot of me. It was good to meet you as well. And then Serene, whoops, gets huge for a second there. Let's make her normal.
Wolf.
she just gets real swole. And then
The ass league.
Yes, she's gonna join the ass league. We just gotta make sure the ass league definitely exists here as well. They all head back over to the other side of the river and kind of disappear into the woods. You think that now that they know that Cenarius isn't a threat, their work here is done. Because the forest is once again pretty darn safe. As you're all, the sun is very much starting to set, and but you do see that up here, up on the ridge, there are some trees that are providing cover, and it seems like it'd be a pretty good place to stay.
Okay.
Can she make it up over here to go up with us?
Do you ask her?
Absolutely.
She thinks for a minute, and she's like, well, I think there's enough room. I'll have to be careful, but yeah, I think I can make it up there. And she kind of pulls back and starts going around you.
I'll step to the side. Do you think she could take us back to Welcome Village, actually?
She pauses.
Cenarius, how do you feel about that? Do you think you could get us back there before?
I think I could bring you back, but I'm a little worried about traveling at night in the hills.
Oh, alright. We can wait till daytime then.
And she paused again. I've hit some animals, I think.
Oh,
Were they squirrels?
what? Huh? What?
I think I might have hit some squirrels. And it's just
I've
so
yet
hard
meet
to
a
see them in
squirrel
the
that
dark.
isn't-
Do you still have those squirrels?
Oh, no!
Oh, no, I don't really have a way to grab
Oh.
things.
Okay. And I go up on, like, walk in a circle under the tree.
All right.
Zossa, do you think you could come up with something so that Cenarius could have some hands or something so that she could pick things up?
Maybe. Take me a while to work something out, but
I don't know, you're very clever. I figured you might know. Magic things, that's your wheelhouse. You do it perfectly. I'm sure you'd be brilliant.
I'm trying to get.
Then she gets over to where she needs to, like, have effort. I'm going to cast guidance on Cenarius.
Aw.
Yeah.
You see that while she was struggling a little bit, with your help, she does kind of make it up into this area, like past the area where it's, kind of would have been a little bit harder for something with wheels and a wide frame to get up. And after that, it's clear sailing. And let me just remove her from here for a minute. And put her where I need her to be. Boop. And you all were able to get like provisions and supplies before you left, so you do have some bedrolls, which I am popping into the token layer now. Token layer and token layer and.
So as we bed down, Winnie walks around in circles on her bedroll and intones the codes of man, and then snuggles up and begins snoring pretty quickly.
Aww.
Oh yeah, once I do my lorem ipsum prayer, I go to sleep.
I forgot about the lorem ipsum prayer.
Marigold will set up his very, very fancy like he has a hammock and it has like tassels off the end of it. It's like so extra. It's definitely seen somewhere, but he will set it up in a tree and just flop into it contentedly. It seems more at home in a hammock than he does in a fancy inn bed. Not that anyone has ever seen him in bed here.
I think we probably...
Shell makes a mental note to stop stereotyping.
I think we are a literal dog pile too.
Oh, that's really cute.
Like we start off not as a dog pile,
right.
But then like by the time Rune's or Marigold's done setting up his and like we're already being cute dogs.
It's also
Being cute
examines
friends.
the grimoire in the corner.
There it is.
Whoop, there it is.
Shell is used to camping outside,
Oh, there's us.
so yeah. So she makes herself comfortable and offers to help anyone who looks to be struggling. But it looks like everybody else is pretty much okay too.
Yeah, so as you all kind of start to bed down for the night, the fire is getting low and the sun is going down. And you hear a gentle, like, doo-doo-doo come from inside Cenarius. And you think she's gone to sleep.
Marigold will very quietly improvise the little melody on his lute before he goes to bed. He's just like, doo-doo-doo. Interesting. Song of Cenarius. Starts writing it down by the firelight.
And are you going to set a watch or anything like that for the night?
Oh, that is probably a good idea.
Probably should do. I only really need about 4 hours of light meditation. I don't really sleep, so if you lot can go to sleep now, and I'll just keep watching, and in the last 4 hours I'll wake someone up if that's all right.
Yeah. You can wake Shell up. She'll volunteer to take second watch.
Alright. So yeah, Marigold will sit quietly improvising on his lute until it's clear that maybe playing lute at 1 o'clock in the morning is kind of rude, and put it away.
I would like you to roll a perception check for me.
Boy, howdy! I'm sure rolling great on those tonight, Corinne. I bet it's gonna be fan-fucking-tastic. Let's see what happens.
It will. I know it will. Come on,
Hey!
wow me. Wow me. So, hairs prickle up on the back of your neck.
Great.
But you don't see anything. You just have a weird feeling.
Of course I don't. I didn't get it. No, I don't have that yet.
Do you do anything in particular with this feeling?
I'll look around. Look
All
around
right.
more, and then maybe nudge Zasa awake.
All right. So, as you're looking around, you can make another perception check for me because you're really looking now. You have that feeling.
It's gonna be terrible. It's an at one.
Oh no.
So you're looking around, and although you have the feeling that maybe something's watching you, you really can't put your finger on it. You're just like, well, maybe it's the darkness. But you do think maybe Zasa knows better. You know, you go and wake her
I
up.
don't want to join the Tesla cult. What?
No, you don't have to join the Tesla cult. It's
okay.
No, there's some. I don't know. Something just feels off, and I don't know. You see better than I do. Something's wrong with my eyes. I got like sand in them or something.
No, well, try and rinse that off or something.
All right, Zasa.
Bless you.
You know you're definitely not alone. You see eyes in the darkness up in the sky getting closer and closer.
Is it gonna be giant moths?
Oh, it's something.
Hey, everyone! We're being watched, and it seems very strange.
What the fuck is that, Corinne?
A friend!
No, it's not a friend!
Oh, they're just bats. That's not as stupid as mine.
All right, so anybody who wakes up, you can roll a knowledge for me to try and figure out what this is. But they're getting here close. They're getting
Oh, I guess knowledge nature.
Yeah, knowledge nature.
All right, +0.
Oh,
well, okay.
All I can really do is yell at them in Sylvan.
Alright.
Sure. 3!
So, Zasa, Rex, and Shell. Shell, you know what these are, because you've heard of them before. But I'll go with the other two first. Zasa and Rex, you get the feeling that while these are bat-like, they're not completely bats. There's something kind of humanoid about them, like some sort of strange hybrid. And Shell, every child in Azoth has heard of this before. These are known as bat people, but they're pretty light on the people.
Bats light on the people.
Your parents have probably said it at one time or two. Behave, bats, or the bat people will get you.
Okay, so they're definitely dangerous.
Definitely dangerous.
Okay.
Every child knows this could be true. They're very large bats rather than actual people, despite their name. They're kind of... They have some humanoid features. I mean, like, they have some kind of graspy hands, and they're large, more like a person, or a large, very large person, instead of a tiny bat. But...
How
go ahead.
intelligent are they?
They are... Let me double check.
Bats!
They're bats. Let me check their intelligence real fast. They are moderately intelligent. They're more intelligent than just an animal.
Okay.
But they're not, winning Nobel Prizes or anything like that.
So, Shell's gonna jump up and just, like the advice that you have for, like, if you run across a grizzly bear into the woods, is like, make yourself as big and loud as possible. She's gonna do that. Like, hey, you dumb bats! This is our campsite. Go find your own. I'm just trying to scare them away.
Yeah, you can roll an intimidation for me. See if you can scare these bat people.
As soon as Zasa realizes what Shell's doing, she'll go ahead and make like shadow tendrils kind of like reach out from Shell's hands using prestidigitation.
All right,
nice.
So, Shell, you can roll again because you could have rolled with advantage due to this.
Awesome.
See if you can get something better than that 12.
Yay!
Ah, much better. So, you see that the strange bat people, the weird like faces that they have that are mostly bat but a little bit people, and they kind of blanch a little bit, make kind of a strange face, and pull back for a moment. You think that although they're not running, you've given yourself a little bit more time to kind of get everybody up and conscious. Otherwise, they might have, swooped down and started trying to grab people.
Ugh. Yeah, I will shake anybody awake who is not already awake.
All right. Was anybody still like kind of only half awake when you were? We got some pretty bad nature rolls, so. But I think you're all mostly awake. But
Yeah.
you have time to prepare if you want to do something in particular.
Yeah.
Marigold's nature roll was probably because Zasa was trying to like pour water into his eyes to get the sand out.
Oh God! Why?
I mean, I'm not sure about Winnie, but I slept in my armor because it's not like we did anything hard that day. Didn't have to regain any levels of exhaustion or hit die or anything. So,
Right.
so armor was on. So,
I mean, I would like to say you all made a dire mistake. You stopped in backcountry.
yeah, well,
You can thank Forge 64 for that.
and I'm gonna, I'll have the maul, not the mace and shield.
All right.
Two-handed weapon.
So whenever you do, you're preparing. I would like everybody to roll for initiative.
Snap.
Is casting a spell going to be counted as preparing, or do you want me to do that on initiative?
I think that you could cast a spell. Oh, Rune, you're not rolling over that. Jeremy, I think that you could cast a spell in preparation, given that the intimidation got them to pull back.
Some of you nerds weren't touching your tokens
It's
when you
true.
rolled.
It was me.
That's all right. Just click your token roll again, and then we can put in what your first roll was.
Okay.
Your
I'm
first
gonna
roll was-
go.
Yeah, you put that 19 down to a 3 there.
Right.
I will put it down to a 3. All right.
On the other hand, when Shell gets in there, she gets to...
Yeah, so I rolled, but it says you wanted to send the result of this roll to the turn tracker, but no
Oh.
valid token was
you
selected.
got a 23. So I can.
Did you have a token clicked on
Yeah.
when you
So
rolled?
just click your token and roll again, and then we'll put the
don't-
23 in.
I don't see anybody's tokens.
Oh, I think you're in the wrong part of the map.
Yeah,
Go up to the ridge.
We're down here.
I can see the whole map.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. So let me.
Oh, like it's weird. Like if I scroll,
Oh, it's doing
the
that thing.
tokens like show up briefly, but then they vanish.
Try messing with how zoomed in you are.
That worked.
Yeah, sometimes the zoom gets a little wonky when you have stuff near the bottom of the map. But yeah, you should be able to click on your token there and just roll again, but we'll give you the 23 because you get to keep that because that's a
Okay.
great roll.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So as the bats
I
are flying
gotta
away,
Bring my character sheet up.
Winnie pulls out her Nihilibone, which is conveniently in her mouth anyway while she was sleeping.
Of course it was.
And she's gonna sprinkle Shell and Rex, and she's not really sure who might be going into combat more. Marigold, because she saw that Zasa is more of a caster. She doesn't know what Marigold does. So
That's true. There's a
she
rapier.
casts Bless on the three of you.
Oh, thanks.
Hashtag bless.
Hashtag
All right.
blessed.
So the bat people have withdrawn a little bit, but they will be swooping back in. Shell, you're up.
Okay, so they look hostile.
They definitely look hostile. They're looking mighty hungry.
Okay, then I guess I feel kind of bad because they are reasonably intelligent, but I have to shoot one.
Ooh,
Yay!
that definitely hits. Yeah, you can roll your damage.
Oh goodness.
So here you go. What you have to do to roll your damage is click where it says longbow. So
Yes.
there you go. So you got 8 damage for the first one. Which one were you shooting at? Were you shooting at the top one or the bottom one?
Probably the bottom one, because otherwise I'd have to shoot over the dogs, and that seems unsafe.
Okay. All right. Let me move my turn order over. All right, so you pull your bow back, you pull the string back, knock an arrow, and send it flying into the night. You're basically going off of where the glow of the eyes is, because it's pretty dark now, and these things, they cast a bit of a shadow against the sky, blocking out the stars, but it's not an exact science. However, you hear a squeal, like a high-pitched as your arrow hits. And you think you definitely winged it. All right.
Okay. I will say that's a warning.
You hear some kind of strange, like, chittering noises, and then another and, what did you say that in?
Oh, probably drum.
Okay, yeah, so it doesn't seem like it understood you. Alright. Zasa, you're up.
Points at the one that didn't just get a new piercing. And shouts, and hopefully comprehend languages is still active. You know why Rex wears chainmail? Or because he's a mastiff.
Wow. Marigold applauds.
All right. So, that's a wisdom save?
Yeah.
All right, so let me do that wisdom save. It fails. So, Billy,
Also, sorry, I was reading from two different jokes. Which is why that didn't make any fucking sense.
I know, I was sitting here, I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay, so it falls into a fit of laughter. I don't know if I don't think it's gonna fall out of the sky, but you think
That's what I was gonna ask. I was like, if it falls, then it's gonna take damage, and then it gets a save against.
Yeah, it doesn't fall out of the sky, but it stops
Okay.
moving. You think that you've stopped it from flying anywhere. And then
It should have said, I should have said, and Zasa probably did because she succeeded.
Mhm.
You know why Rex wears chainmail? Because it's holy armor.
There it is.
there you go.
Wow.
But yeah, you think you've definitely affected this bat person, even though it didn't necessarily understand what you said, but it got it enough to know that you were telling a joke. It is now not going to be moving. Next, it is this one's turn. Let's see. What kind of thing do we do here? Oh, yes. Okay. All right, so you think that you kind of see this one moving in, and you think that it's trying to communicate with the other one, but the other one's laughing or making a strange, like, sound. And so this one, whatever this one's saying, it isn't getting through. And it swoops down and goes in for a bite on the one who shot it. So Shell.
Oh, noes.
Does a 14 hit?
Let me scroll up. No.
All right, so it misses. It swoops down and takes a bite at you, seemingly missing. But then it goes under the claws and definitely misses. It swoops in and kind of misses. It does a bit of a flyby and comes back here.
Right, so now is it back up in the air?
Yeah, it's still up in the air. It didn't stay down. It swooped down, tried for a bite, tried for a claw, and then swooped back up again.
Shell will say, no, bad.
Do you say that in drum?
Yes, probably still in drum.
Okay.
Like, I don't think there's any reason that she would think that the bats would understand trade language.
All right, so yeah, it doesn't seem to understand you. All right, Rex, you're up.
All right, so I mean, I can't reach any of them unless he's within 10 feet of me.
I would say they're about 15 feet up.
Yeah, they're going to be a bit higher up.
Yeah, they're a little
However,
bit higher.
I'm going to move. So he's way up, so he doesn't get an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, correct.
So I'm going to move over here, make a lot of noise, like draw attention to myself, and I'm going to cast Ensnaring Strike on the mallet. And the next time one of them gets close enough to me, I'm going to hit them with my hammer.
All right, sounds good.
But I'm making I'm trying to, I don't know if you want to do like an intimidation check or something to make myself seem.
You're trying to make yourself seem like the bigger threat.
Yeah, that like they need to take me out.
Yeah, you can roll an intimidation for that to see how effective it is.
13?
Okay.
I don't know. But I have Ensnaring Strike on me hammer, on me mallet.
Okay. All
so
right.
the moment one gets close, I'm
You're doing that. All
right.
Okay, Marigold.
Okay, so Marigold will kind of roll out of his hammock, draw his rapier, look up to the two bats, kind of assess the situation. I did say I drew my rapier, right?
Yes.
Okay. And he'll start singing. He'll say, "So you're a winged guy, flapping, flying, thinged guy, clinging, sealing, winged guy, killing everything guy. I'm that bard type, making your life hard type, catch you off your guard type, madly avant-garde type. I'm the bard guy."
Oh,
Earworm!
She was so good.
Lola was just into it. All right.
Earworm at second level. Let's do this.
All right. So you get to roll to see what it does. So roll that D6, I believe.
Yeah. Is it for both of them or is it individual per creature?
I think it is for both of them. Yes.
4. The song is disorienting. Good, because I didn't sing it very well.
Sorry, I had to mute myself because my dog would not stop barking. Okay. Yeah, so it's disorienting, which means the song is so loud and cacophonious that the target is dazed. They can't take any actions while the song is active, but they have no penalty to AC. So they can't attack. You've definitely thrown them off their game. You hear a high-pitched shrieking, like a as their little like bat hands like try and like come up to their ears, which you notice are very pointy and large. You think that attacking them with sound was probably not great for them. All right, it is Billy's turn, and let's see. Oh yeah, I forget. They get the wisdom save, so let me give them that wisdom save to make sure that they don't pass. So this one's for Billy. Billy definitely fails. And this one's for Benny. Oh, 15. What's your spell save DC?
13.
Was that 13?
Yeah.
Okay, so Billy, the one who was laughing, he fails miserably. Benny, he shrieks, but then stops and glares at you, like the whites of his little bad eyes just kind of narrow. Yes. Okay. So it is Billy's turn, but Billy is very much incapacitated. He is to roll again on his turn, I believe. So he has to roll for 2 effects right now. A wisdom save for both laughing and being disoriented. I don't think he's going to succeed at both of these.
Plus.
He's at a very strong disadvantage. Okay, so he does stop laughing. Maybe it's because this, like, the noise was very disorienting. Let's see. Okay, he passes, but he can't act this turn. His little bat hands go up over his ears, and you think that you've stopped him from attacking this round, but he stops making the eek song, the eek sound, and you think next turn he's gonna be pretty pissed about it. Right.
I will also turn around and use my bonus action because I forgot to do it.
Yeah.
And I will turn to Rex. Who's closer to me? Rex, and say, "You know what? You're a very good boy. I've changed my mind." Bardic Inspiration.
Ooh.
Bardic Inspiration. All right, so it's now Winnie's turn.
So she she stops howling since they've stopped making those horrendous high-pitched noises, and she glares at the one that's over here.
Okay, the closer one.
Right. It's too high, but she pulls out her mace, but she brandishes her Nylabone at it, and over here, a spectral Nylabone is going to appear.
All right. Let me get a Nylabone real fast.
Excellent.
Oh my God.
Give me one moment to look up a Nylabone image.
I mean, I think if you just do a bone, it'll bring just a classic bone.
Yeah, maybe bone will be available. Let me see if we just have bone in the Roll20 library. Just need one bone. Just one bone is all we need. Not a full skeleton. Not a knife. Not a set of 3 bones.
I can't believe they don't just have a Nylabone. What's up with that?
I know, right? So weird. Come on, Roll20. I have a skull. Let's see.
Nyla Skull.
Nyla
That didn't
Skull.
last. That product didn't last.
And the Nylabone swings at the bat, but misses, I'm assuming, with a 10.
Yeah, that would miss. I'm going to use this as a Nylabone. Ignore the fact that it's a hammerhead shark.
No, it totally looks like Nylabone.
It's exactly a Nylabone. I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, the spectral Nylabone kind of swings at the bat person, and it just basically misses. Like the bat flies up a little bit higher, missing. But you think you could probably hit it in the future.
Okay.
All right, Shell, it's your turn again.
Awesome. I'm taking another shot.
All right. Are you going for the same one you already hit?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I do not hit it.
A shoot and a miss. It flies right past the bat person, kind of into the night sky. But as this is happening, you hear doo-doo-doo, and the lights of Cineris' eyes kind of flicker, and you hear, kind of muffled because the panels are closed. What's going on?
We're under attack.
What? What's attacking us?
Bad
Foul
people.
unseen.
We can't stop here. This is Bat Country.
Yeah.
You stopped in Bat Country.
Oh no!
All right, Zasa, you're up.
It's gonna point at the one who has apparently just regained its senses and
This one up here.
go, yeah. You know what you'd call Rex if he was targeted by flesh to stone? A master.
There you go.
Boom.
All right, let's try that wisdom save again for Billy. Oh, I think he saves. You hear, "Eek, eek, eek," and then some like strange clicking sounds. You think you just got told off, like your joke was bad.
I thought it was funny.
But now it's Benny's turn, and lots of things are going on.
I'm
You
just barking at it.
You hear these two communicating with each other. There's lots of high-pitched squeaking, like "ee," and the clicks again. And you think you think something's going on. I'd like you all to roll a perception for me.
All of us?
Yeah, everyone.
I'm gonna roll a natural one. Watch this.
Oh, wait, no.
Hold my beer.
We get advantage.
You do
because
get
it's
advantage.
set.
because of the sound, yes.
Well, I got a 5 and a 4.
Okay.
I got the nat one this time.
Guys, y'all. Oh, thank God for Shell.
Yeah.
So, Shell, you
She's
are
hyper aware. Battle
familiar
time.
with bat people, and because you're familiar with them, you know that they work together. They can coordinate their attacks as long as there's more than one of them together. You think now that both of them are in control of themselves and able to act, they're now speaking to one another, which means they're going to have advantage on their attacks.
Oh no. Michelle will say, "Heads up, they're coordinating."
And then Benny moves in again. And, well, actually, you did shoot him, but you missed last time. Yeah, so Rex is making quite the racket. Benny swoops in.
All right,
goes-
so when he swoops in,
What are
I'm
you
gonna
going
make
to do?
my
Oh, there you
snaring strike attack because
Okay.
I planned
Yep.
that attack in advance.
You did.
So,
Go right ahead. Make that attack. Oh, you hit. Roll that damage.
So first of all, he's going to take 12 bludgeoning damage. Wow, that was a good damage roll.
That was
I rolled
very
a 5
good.
and a 4. I was going to smite, but I'll save my spell slots. However, I am doing ensnaring strike,
Okay.
which is that. So has to make a strength or make a strength saving throw or be restrained by the magical vines until the spell ends.
Okay.
I'm guessing he's larger, so he does have advantage on the save.
He is large, yes. All right. So he has advantage on the saving throw. So let me give him advantage.
I'll say DC isn't very high. It's just the hopes that I could keep him from flying.
He passes.
Screw you, man. Jeez.
As you hit him, he makes that high-pitched squeaking again, and for a minute struggles, and then seems to break free and go in for the bite he was trying to do. 13 probably
Miss.
doesn't hit. All right, but then he goes in with the claws. 21.
I mean, I guess.
All right,
Barely.
7 slashing damage.
Oh no! I've almost got as few hit points as Oh my gosh.
Yikes.
Why does it not want to let me? Oh, because I have Numlock on. There.
There you go. You can figure it out.
No, I've got 24 HP.
All right, Rex, it's your turn.
Did he fly away or is he still down? there?
He stayed down here.
Oh,
He hasn't
Oh.
moved back up yet.
all right. So I am going to hit him again.
Mhm.
And I'm going to also use a smite.
All right,
So I'm going to maul him. If that hits, I'll smite.
that does hit.
All right. So not only are we doing that bad, but we're also doing thunderous smite.
Oh.
So he has to do a DC 11 strength save again. Again, not a huge one.
Okay, just a normal strength save.
Yeah, here. Where'd it go? Thunder smite. Oops, no, I meant to do. Click it so it would show you what it is.
That's all right.
Yes, the first time I hit with a blah blah blah, it rings with a thunderous thunder that is audible within 300 feet of you.
Come on.
Deals an extra 2d6 damage to the target.
Yeah, it looked like he passed. I am gonna tell you something.
Oh, all this means is it doesn't get pushed away.
Okay, these bat people seem pretty strong.
Yeah, I've
They've
noticed.
got these sinuous muscles that are
Rude.
rippling in the moonlight.
Uh,
All right,
That's
is that-
okay because he still took 14.
He
more.
did. He took a lot of damage. He's looking pretty rough. Anything else,
Rough.
Rex? Yep, he's looking rough.
oh no.
I mean- Yes, I hear that rough. Haha.
Okay.
Everyone spells that rough.
All right.
No, that's gonna be it.
Okay, then it is Marigold's turn.
Thunder damage didn't do extra because it's not electric damage.
Correct, it didn't do any extra.
Thunder. Oh, okay.
Oh wow! Okay. Right. Is this guy down here? Right here?
Yeah, he is within hitting distance right now. I'd probably say he's not on the ground, but he was still within range of Rex, so he'd be within range
Whip.
of you.
I'm gonna give Rex a flank.
Very nice.
Marigold will step in with the rapier. And
Corinne, do you do flank rules?
I can't remember. Do I usually do it? I'll give you advantage for flank.
Okay, so being somebody who's relatively sonically attuned, do they seem to hate music?
They don't seem to hate it necessarily, but you think that their ears are very sensitive.
Delightful! I have bagpipes. Marigold will roll up behind this bat person to kind of threaten it from behind, and turn the bagpipes so he can play him, and just let out the most god awful, horrible squealing noise possible with a very apologetic look to the dogs.
All right. Are you going for an intimidate? Or
Yeah.
are you using it as an attack?
Can I use my bagpipes as a sonic attack?
I don't think you actually can, but I don't know.
Improvised weapon, but
Yeah, like
sonic damage.
improvised weapon with sonic damage.
Sure, I'll roll an improvised weapon with sonic damage.
Yeah, go for it.
What would you like me to use for the attack?
I would say your performance, because you
Okay.
are performing.
That'll be +7.
Finally!
Yes.
Okay, you crit. Let's see, how much sonic damage is a bagpipe worth? When it's used as an improvised weapon against creatures with very good ears. I'm going to have this bat person roll a con save, and depending on that con save, I'll let you know how much damage it does. Okay? I'm gonna
You
see how.
disappeared in mine. I'm not sure if everybody else could hear you. But
Who? Me? Oh, did I cut out for a minute? Okay. So what I'm gonna
maybe
do is
only for me.
I'm gonna roll a con save, and depending on what this con save is, we're gonna see how much damage that did. Let's see. Okay, so it resists some of it, but you definitely heard it. It squeals again, pressing its little bat hands to its head. And, oh, you think it is so close to going down. You didn't knock it out, but your improvised sound weapon definitely did some damage. It could have done more if it hadn't been quick to react.
Fair enough. I believe Rex still has inspiration, so...
He does.
Yep.
All right, that's me. That's my action, and I can only have one inspiration at a time, so...
All right.
There's me.
All right. So, it is the bat person over here's turn. He's finally able to act again, and he swoops in towards Winnie. And he currently has advantage. All right. So Winnie, he swoops in towards you. A 19.
Oh yeah.
Okay. 4 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then goes in for the second hit with the claws, with his little bat people hands. Oh, 21.
Yep.
Come on, roll damage. 4 slashing. And you think that each time they hit you, they tend to stay on the ground, whereas when they miss, they swoop back up. You think the act of actually hitting makes them kind of stop and stay where you are, but each time they miss, they're able to kind of turn that miss into a flyby
Gotcha.
instead of getting caught. But that is its turn. And Winnie, you're up.
All right. I glance back over at the one that they're taking care of, and the spiritual Nylabone floats down and doesn't do anything.
Let me know where you'd like it to go, and I can move it.
It's in the same space. They just have to drop down to actually hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it moves down. All right.
Why is it not rolling?
Roll,
Yeah.
spiritual Nylabone. Roll. Weird.
Okay, it decided to stop.
We can always check back and see what the modifier was and re-roll it that way.
Let me do
Let's see here. Nope.
got a +4 to hit. Do we just roll it with dice?
Yeah, you can probably just roll with dice. I'll trust you.
Got an 11 +4, 15.
That's gonna hit.
Okay, D8 +2. 6, 8 force.
All right. So as the spiritual Nylabone goes in for the hit, just does it like whap it in the face, or does it hit the
Yeah.
wing?
Boops it
Boops it on the snoot.
very hardly.
It does the boop snoot, and the bat falls.
And then I will turn my attention towards this one who has gotten up in my muzzle here. See if Mace will roll. Yay, Mace rolls.
Cool.
21
21 hits.
for 2 bludgeoning.
You know,
Yay.
you do 26 damage to something, and then someone throws a bone at you.
Hey, it's teamwork, Bevan. It's teamwork.
Yeah,
You sopped him up. It's like opening a jar.
Right? Oh, I think I need to make concentration checks. Or
Oh, yeah, because you did get hit.
Oh, I forgot to add bless to any of my rolls. Whatever.
Same.
I hit with. So.
It
Yeah,
actually
I
goes
think
down.
Well, because yeah, you took 8 damage, so I think you're actually okay.
Isn't it 10?
Oh
or...
yeah, you have to at least 10, but you.
Yeah,
got...
so the first one
yeah,
I made, but
passed
the
the
second
first
one I
The
lost.
second one you lost.
We're no longer blessed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. At least you took down the one bat person. All right. So Shell, it is your turn again, but
Awesome.
Cenarius kind of backs up and pulls around and starts moving.
Oh my god.
And
You're about to get backstabbed by a rogue car.
Right?
it seems like she's having a little bit of trouble getting through here, but she does make it. And you don't know what she's planning to do now that she's here, but she was able to get over there. And now you have flank because of Cenarius, anybody who is on the opposite side there.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, Shell,
Good car.
go right
Good car.
Longbowing.
yes.
Yay!
A hit. All right, let's see that damage.
Oh,
That's okay.
would have been better.
So you let the arrow fly, and it kind of nicks the wing. You hear that high pitch again, and then you actually hear something in what seems like cans. The bat person speaking to you, Shell, says, "All right," but it really isn't able to say much more. Zasa, it's your turn.
I can't technically do this as a bonus action, but I'm going to ask if I can anyways.
Okay.
Can I use message as a bonus action?
Yeah, I'll let you message. I'll be lenient.
Are you done? Can you leave? We'll let you collect your friend because that's probably very traumatic for you. But you should go.
And since you do still understand, it looks like the pollution hasn't worn off just yet. You think if it was later in the night, it might have. You understand can't. And the bat person says, "Yes, I'll go. I didn't think this meal would be this hard."
Is it talking or is it messaging? Sorry.
This was out loud.
Okay.
So everybody would understand as long as your potion hadn't worn off, which it wouldn't have yet.
Well, if you're hungry, we have food.
Oh, awkward.
We'll just give you food.
You would just give me food.
Yeah.
I mean, here.
All right. And
Is this guy dead or is he just down?
he's just down. He's unconscious. He hasn't started making death saves yet. So he's still technically alive, just
All right.
unconscious.
I'm still in initiative. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so up until he passes, everyone is still in initiative. But
Okay.
He's not attacking anymore. And it is Benny's turn, so he makes his first death save. Oh, crit fail.
Oh, he gets
No.
2.
He has 2.
That's okay, kids. I have a plan.
So you see the bat person kind of twitch on the floor, on the ground a little bit, like wings fluttering, but he doesn't get up. And now it's Rex's turn.
And Rex looks down at the bird and or the bird. Yeah, he looks at the bird. He looks at the bat and goes,
Is this a bird?
He just holds his hand out towards it. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll hold my hand out towards it and say, "Is this a bird?" And I'll give it a single HP for lay on hands.
All right.
Just one.
Just one. Okay.
Just 1 HP. Don't you mess around because, oh man, I can take... Rex giveth, Rex taketh away.
And as you say, is this a bird? Life flows back into Benny, the bat person. And he makes a little, like, kind of squeaky gasp, like a... And his eyes pop open. And now that he's up, you're now no longer in initiative. He's still technically laying on the ground, wings all akimbo. But the fight is over. Billy has surrendered. And he kind of lands on the ground next to you before kind of doing like a weird like hop fly over to Benny and being like, hey, it's pretty awkward, man.
Oh, and Rex is gonna
Zasa
scratch
is
himself
giving
behind the
food.
ear and get himself to full health. I go,
Alright.
"Urgh," and my hand, my paw glows. All my cuts are healed.
So as Billy like helps Benny sit up, or stand up, hop up, bat person equivalent, Benny's still looking pretty rough. Oh, let me get rid of the spectral Nihilabone. And they both kind of move over here. And just kind of take a load off. And Billy, the one who had decided to surrender, is like, so food. That's really why we did all this. We're just hungry. Not much else that looked appetizing out in the forest, so...
Do you like jerky and hardtack?
I mean, I wouldn't say no to jerky.
Okay.
You like treats?
It depends on what the treats are, I suppose.
Well, these are mostly scraps of meat pressed with charcoal.
No. I've got actual jerky and other things on here. What do you eat?
Oh, all sorts of things.
Hopefully not
Deer,
people.
squirrels, travelers,
Okay.
bad children.
I like
Mm.
eating 2 of those 4 things.
Less on the children and the travelers, more on maybe the squirrels and the deer.
Well, you know, we're pretty big.
True. Perhaps a deer would be a better idea. A better idea! I'm sorry.
No, you're
Well, at least
No, I'm not! Not at all!
at least for tonight, we will not eat any children or travelers.
I appreciate that.
And
Have you thought of working out a deal with Welcome Village? They seem to have a great amount of supplies and a desire to welcome people and help them with their travels and creating a harmonious community.
You could work out something that actually is a very good idea. Couldn't you use Scout Shell? Eyes in the sky?
Sure. Yeah, we could use that.
and Billy, the more talkative of the two, looks over at you, Shell, and is like, aren't you afraid of us? Didn't you grow up hearing about the bat people coming to swoop in and eat you?
Well,
I'm
you're
gonna
not
bump him on the nose.
attacking
Be
me
nice.
right now.
No, we're not, because you kicked our asses. I suppose, maybe. I'd like anyone who's trying to convince them that this is a good idea to roll persuasion for me.
Shell should not. She is not very charismatic.
Neither is Zasa, and she's gonna roll anyways.
It's pretty good.
It's really good for a -1 modifier.
Yeah,
That's
it's not bad. That's pretty good. All right, so, let's see. Oh yeah. So, you know, Billy kind of leans in a little bit, kind of brings one little batty hand to his face, rubs his chin. He's like, well, it would be easier than hunting down travelers if we could get some sort of mutually beneficial deal.
I hear they're opening a new business that you could probably go work at.
consider it. You say they have enough food. Just like plenty of food.
They had so much food and bacon and jerky that when we left, we still had an entire tray of it.
I still have some here with me. I'll give them some.
Pocket bacon.
All right, roll one more
Bacon.
persuasion for me, whichever one of you would like to do it.
Don't make Sasa do it.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a shot.
16.
Yeah. So, Billy kind of leans into you, Winnie, kind of taking a deep breath. You think that he's, like, smelling the bacon. And he's like, all right, we believe you. Don't we, Benny? And Benny is like, yeah, I guess, whatever. He's still not feeling very good. He's like, we'll head to Welcome Village and tell them you sent us.
Before you leave, so my joke about a dog being turned from flesh to stone didn't quite land. So did you have any notes on that? But was it my delivery? Was the joke not funny?
The timing was just off a little.
Yeah, Billy and Betty kind of like rub their chins. They're like, timing was off. A little bit was lost in translation. Bat humor is very different.
I would love to know more.
All right. And you're all able to spend some time talking with Billy and Benny before they leave and you go back to sleep. You have officially somehow made friends with some bat people.
Hey, that's what we do.
That's what you do. But you also kick their asses, so be proud of that. All right. So,
Marigold will trance. Please, long rest for me. Please.
Yes, you are able to get 4 hours after all is said and done.
Thank you.
And we'll leave it there for the night. Next week, you'll start fresh in the morning. Able to head back to Welcome Village or go directly to Adorn, whatever you prefer. Before we head out, I'm going to move us back to the no map screen. And if you all would like to once again introduce yourselves, we'll start with Rune and go bottom up.
Hi, I'm Rune. You can find me over at my own stream on Sundays and on, oh my god, I'm tired. Holy shit. Goldheart Gaming, every other Monday sometimes. And you can also find me here on Tuesdays and Saturdays. I am a freelance artist for Cubicle 7. I make lots and lots and lots of art for anybody who wants it. And sometimes I write and sometimes I needle felt when it doesn't ruin my hands. And that's me. So hi. My Twitch, that Twitch link is wrong, Hiromi.
Oh, sorry.
It's because you got Rune Sale 2 on it, and I don't know who Rune Sale 2 is, but there's only one of me. If you Google that, it's me. It's always me. So there you go.
Look everywhere for Rune Sale.
Yeah,
all right, next up is Jeremy.
Oh, all right. I'm Jeremy, playing Winnie, the Staffordshire cleric, and you can find me here on Mondays for Travis Legg's Myths and Matchmakers, and on Fridays on my own channel for The Lore You Know and Curiosity Cache. I publish on DM's Guild and Drive Through RPG, and you can find me on Twitter at WHPubs or Facebook at WH Publications.
Good job, you got it all out there.
Yay.
All right, Rachel.
Hey, yeah, so you can find me on Storyteller's Vault. I've got a bunch of titles up there. And I will be back on this channel Thursday evening running Changeling the Dreaming Chronicle. So come check me out there too. And yeah, I'm stolen fire pretty much everywhere.
Very nice. All right, Hiromi.
Hi, I'm Hiromi. They, them. I do freelance RPGs and queer genre fiction. You can find links to all of my RPG work and all of my fiction work on my website, hiromikoda.com. You can find, I think, basically all of my queer genre fiction over on my Amazon author page, which is also linked. My most recent short story is in the Trinity Anthology, which is not the same thing as Trinity to the RPG. Oh, sorry.
Don't die, please.
Still rolling. And you can see me here here on this Twitch channel on Saturdays, along with Rune and Corinne, where we're still playing Zasa and Marigold in their native habitats.
It's worse.
There's a whole party of them. All right, next up we have Bevan.
Oh, I'm Bevan. I'm over on Roll the Roll with Corinne. Where we both run games and play games and keep everybody from arguing with one another. And you can mostly find me there or here.
Also, there's Bevan's LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, I can give you my LinkedIn.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, right there.
hire
find me.
Bevan for jobs.
Yes. I'm
All
so
right.
hungry for work. I'm good at talking on the phone and helping.
And he's very friendly.
I'm like a
He's
big
a
nice
good
dog.
boy.
I
good boy.
haven't put my new updated resume on LinkedIn, but I have references from all my bosses, old bosses that they wrote for my ZipRecruiter page, and it more or less sounds like they're saying, Evan is a very nice, good boy. Very smart, good boy.
It's true. And finally, I am Corinne. I've been your DM. You can find me as @ManicPixieGirl on Twitter or doing other stuff on Roll the Roll. I run this game here on Tuesdays, and then I'm back here again on Saturdays to run Purge of the Serpent Holds with Hiromi and Rune. It's a good time. They are all small but mighty, and they tend to make more friends than they do enemies, even in a very scary place. I hope you'll check us out and be back next week for the finale of this, where we'll see if they're able to give Cenarius a help them find their purpose, or who knows what they'll do. They have to get home somehow. So
We don't.
See y'all next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh,
Wash your hands.
we just got a raid. We were just ending.
Oh no!
Thank you.
Oh no! Thank
Thanks,
you so much for the raid. We were just ending. If you all want to go through your stuff again, you totally can. But we were just about to say goodbye.
I can send them the clip for a Marigold.
Oh God, no! Don't do that! Why would you do that?
I do want to say thank you again for stopping by. We just finished today. We usually start at 8 p.m. Central on Tuesdays. We're playing Legendlore. It's very cool. You should stop by next time and you'll actually catch us playing. I'll see if I can move this raid over. I don't know if I have the ability, but I'm gonna try. So I'll put us to our ending screen and we'll see if we can get you all somewhere fun. Bye everyone, thanks for stopping by.
Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty here.
Wash your hands.
Yes,
mask
wash your
up.
hands. Stay safe. Do good things. And
Don't be
Be
dicks.
good boys
don't be
and girls.
dicks.